Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into the nuts and bolts of customer service excellence in retail. We're going to unpack the source material to find out what actually separates a thriving retail business from one that is, well, just barely scraping by. We'll be digging into the exact mindsets, the actionable training techniques, and the relationship-building strategies that take an everyday shop and turn it into an absolute standout. So let's get right into it.
The source material lays down a pretty massive marker right off the bat. It states, great customer service isn't just a bonus, it's a cornerstone of success. Now think about that word for a second, cornerstone. In masonry, it's literally the very first stone set in a foundation, right? Every single other stone is set in reference to it. It dictates the position, the strength, the entire integrity of the building. So if you're looking at customer service as just a bonus, a little cherry on top that you only offer when the store is dead and you happen to have some extra energy, man, your foundation is incredibly weak. Service cannot be an afterthought. It is the absolute structural integrity of your retail success. If that cornerstone is flawed, the whole business is eventually going to crumble under the pressure.
So here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the customer-first mindset. Second, defining exceptional customer service. Third, practical team training techniques. Fourth, avoiding common service pitfalls. And finally, building lasting customer relationships.
All right, moving into Section 1, the customer-first mindset.
Adopting this customer-first mindset is absolutely what sets a retail store apart from all the noise out there. Our source material makes it clear. This means prioritizing the customer's experience above literally everything else. Just picture this. It's a crazy busy Tuesday afternoon. A staff member is halfway through restocking this massive, complex display of inventory, and a customer walks in looking completely lost. Now, a standard mindset says, hey, I need to finish this physical task first. It's my job. But a customer-first mindset, it instantly recognizes that the physical inventory is totally secondary to the actual human being standing in the store. The staff member stops, greets the customer, and gets them sorted out. It's a profound shift in perspective. You aren't just there to manage products, you are there to curate an experience. And when this mindset becomes your team's default, it radiates through every single interaction. Customers can absolutely feel the difference between when their presence interrupts a task versus when their presence is the task. And honestly, that realization alone is a total game changer.
Let's roll right into Section 2, defining exceptional customer service.
When you break it down, the contrast between an average store's approach and true retail excellence is just staggering. Standard service is treated as just a bonus. It's super reactive. It happens when it's convenient or, when a customer explicitly demands help. Exceptional service, on the other hand, is built as a cornerstone of success using real-world actions. So what does that actually look like on the shop floor? Well, standard service is pointing a customer toward aisle 4 when they ask where the light bulbs are. Exceptional service? That is entirely proactive. It's an employee actually walking the customer to aisle 4, asking what type of fixture the bulb is for, and maybe mentioning that a specific LED runs cooler for their enclosed lamp. See the difference? One is a bare minimum transaction. The other is a genuine, consultative interaction. Exceptional service means anticipating needs before they even get verbalized. It's offering to hold items at the register so they don't have to lug them around while browsing. It's baked right into the daily operations, not just sprinkled on top when someone feels like it.
Which brings us to Section 3, practical team training techniques.
Because let's be real, a vision is only as good as its execution, right? Giving managers a practical, concrete sequence for training their teams is absolutely crucial. We're not talking about boring lectures in a dusty back room. We're talking about a systematic approach. Step 1, instill a customer-first mindset. How? By aligning your team's core values with the customer's perspective from day one of onboarding. You literally have to give employees the official permission, the mandate really, to pause their stocking or folding the second someone walks in. Step 2, analyze real-world examples of excellence. In your pre-shift huddles, don't just talk in abstract concepts. Bring in real stuff. Discuss a specific time yesterday when an employee totally nailed a tricky return, or read out a glowing review left by a shopper and dissect exactly why it worked. And Step 3, practice building lasting relationships. Training has got to include role-playing the art of connection. Have your staff practice asking open-ended questions that go way beyond, "Can I help you?" Because we all know that just gets a, "No, I'm just looking." Instead, train them to ask, "What brings you in today?" or "Are you shopping for a specific project?" Integrating these 3 steps will literally transform an average employee into a powerhouse ambassador for your brand.
Okay, moving to Section 4, avoiding common service pitfalls.
Look, even with the best intentions, things are going to go wrong. It's crucial to understand why these common pitfalls happen so you can spot the warning signs a mile away.
The first major pitfall is treating service as merely a bonus. This usually crops up because management accidentally incentivizes speed or task completion over human interaction. If your staff gets penalized for not finishing a physical inventory count, they're naturally going to start viewing the customer as a roadblock rather than the priority. The second pitfall is ignoring real-world examples of failure. It's totally human nature to want to just sweep a bad customer interaction under the rug. But listen, if a customer leaves unhappy, that is a vital data point. We learn just as much, if not more, from analyzing our missteps as we do from our wins. A lost sale is just a golden opportunity to tweak your training. Finally, the third pitfall is failing to prioritize a customer-first mindset. This usually creeps in during the high-stress times, right? The holiday rush, understaffed shifts, whenever operational stress hits the roof. When internal panic overrides the actual human being standing in front of you, you've fallen into a massive trap. Managers have got to be hyper-vigilant during peak times to make sure that foundation doesn't crack.
And that leads us to our final section, Section 5, Building Lasting Customer Relationships.
So how do we build lasting relationships with our customers? When someone walks in, how do you make sure they don't just buy once but keep coming back time and time again? This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've established the cornerstone, you've trained the mindset, you've dodged the pitfalls. But relationship building, that requires consistent, intentional effort. It means shifting away from seeing customers as just quick transactions and really starting to view them as long-term partners in your retail ecosystem. The source material points out that the core strategies here are all about deep personalization and removing friction. It's empowering your staff to remember a regular's name or their favorite brand. It's designing a return policy that's so transparent and painless, the customer trusts you implicitly. Every single touchpoint, from that initial greeting at the door to the follow-up email, has got to be engineered to build genuine trust.
And the engine driving all of this? Make every customer feel valued. It sounds incredibly simple, right? But pulling it off consistently is the single most profoundly effective strategy in all of retail. Making someone feel valued goes way beyond just a polite smile. It looks like an employee noticing a customer's hands are totally full and immediately running over with a basket. It looks like making eye contact with someone waiting in line and just saying, "Hey, I'll be right with you," so they don't feel invisible. When people feel seen, heard, and genuinely appreciated as individuals, not just walking wallets, they come back. They become fiercely loyal. They become your absolute loudest advocates out in the community. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. Take a hard look at your own store, your team, and your daily routines tomorrow morning. Does your environment genuinely make every single customer feel valued the very moment they step inside? Because if it does, you've built an unbreakable cornerstone. And if it doesn't, well, you now have the exact roadmap to fix it. Thanks for tuning into this Explain.